everybody. This is Valerie with Two Mamas to Love, and I am live here with Deanna Kozarov, an intuitive eating and wellness coach. And our episode that I want to talk with Deanna about is intuitive eating during the summer months, because now summer is in full bloom. June 20th, summer solstice in a couple of days, and it's about 100 degrees out here in Chicago. So Deanna, can you tell us a bit about intuitive eating and how can we do more of it in the summer months?
Sure. Yeah. So just to back up a little bit, just intuitive eating, there's three main features, which are relying on internal cues to address hunger and fullness, giving yourself unconditional permission to eat all foods fit, and not eating so much for emotional reasons, but more for physical reasons. And it's like a non-diet approach to health. So it's basically eating and moving in a way that is not based on diets or weight loss or calorie content or extreme workouts. And it's regardless of size or shape you're still pursuing wellness without all the toxic diet culture. So just to give a little bit of background on what intuitive eating is, and intuitive eating especially is important in the summer months where our schedules are changing, routines are changing. If you're a parent, school is out, kids are out, like sleep schedules are different now. Maybe even parent schedules are different now. People are going on vacation. You're having, maybe you're visiting family's visiting you, friends are visiting, you're going to barbecue. So intuitive eating more than ever is a great thing to practice during the summer months. So.
Yeah, that's great. And thank you for explaining to us about intuitive eating, because I know it's kind of a relatively new concept, but it makes a lot of sense. And I really have enjoyed learning about it from you. We did a podcast episode back earlier
Yes.
in December, I think it was. And we talked all about just it making sense compared to what we grew up with of that diet culture and like counting calories, doing these things. And this is more just like you're saying, listening to your body and having your body tell us what it wants and trusting in yourself a bit.
Yeah, definitely. And this definitely alludes to the summer months, like I said, where you may not be cooking as much, and that's okay. It's okay to have some convenient foods. You may be out and about at the parks and beaches, and that's okay if you're just packing crackers and fruit and cheese and let that be your lunch. The summer months are they can be short in many parts of the country. So, and with the kids being out, it's really a time to spend as much time as possible with your family. And so just embracing the memories instead of worrying about calories and like, oh my gosh, like we didn't, have a big healthy meal, those kind of things, just kind of go in the back burner, especially during the summer months. And intuitive eating helps with that.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually just having a conversation with my friend the other day about we're doing a road trip soon and what I should pack. And well, shout out to Happy Hungry Little. She does a lot of like just good, simple recipes for kids. And I'm like, give me some ideas. Give me some ideas, some like healthy stuff that I can have and not, chips or all the other things. And she actually said, like, it's a road trip. It's the summer. Like, just embrace it. And I thought that was good advice, that it is like what you're saying too, of just the summer is short, childhood is short. And not to say that we're going to be, like just throwing all this food, and just having like a candy party in the car or anything. But at the same time, like just being aware that it's putting, I guess, giving the power away from food and putting it back to us. That's kind of how I'm thinking of it as, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. Taking that power back, working it in a way that works for you and your family and your schedule, and leaving room for like that flexibility. Just being, more confident in your choices and not listening to the outside world and the outside noise about what you should eat and what you shouldn't, especially during the summer months.
That's great. Now, I mean, like for this past week or so, it's been fairly hot. What have you been doing like with your family for embracing the summer? Is there anything in particular that you guys like to do, or like I know that you're in the Chicago area, so there's
Yeah.
a lot of beaches, and or anything in particular?
Yeah, I've been getting to the practice of trying to do outdoor like picnics, like just simple meals for like dinner and just taking it outside, sandwiches or like a pasta salad, maybe grab a bag of chips and some water with us, or maybe some fun drinks like sparkling water, and then just taking it outdoors and like having a picnic and just kind of embracing like the fresh air and the warmer weather, and just having our meals outdoors as much as we possibly can. That was like one of my goals, is to, when summer would come, then we would try to eat outdoors as much as possible. It adds in like a fun element to our dining experience.
I love that because those are like the some of the best memories. I feel like
Yeah.
having those picnics, or even like sometimes we'll just go out for ice cream or something
Yes.
like that. Just those memories are just so nice, and like you kind of lose yourself a bit if you're thinking about, oh, is this okay right now?
Right.
It in your head as opposed to just embracing the moment. And my kids love this little ice cream parlor in town. We're in the western suburbs of Chicago, and it has this like pink and black and white checker
Oh, fun.
going on. So they just love it, just like for the decor. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ice cream's good too, obviously, but those type of things are fun.
Yeah. Yeah, same with us. We have, the neighborhood ice cream shop. It's bustling during the summer months, and it's just fun to see everyone out and about enjoying, ice cream in the summer months with, their loved ones. We have one too on our street, and it's got that old American style to it. It's really fun. It's got like an old picture of like the old Hollywood Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland in the background sharing an ice cream. So it's not just about the food. It's about like creating those memories with people that you love, the connection over fun things like ice cream, and creating those summer memories.
Yeah, that's great. And I feel like in the summertime when it's hot, I don't really want to eat heavy foods anyway. So
Right.
like maybe like dips, or like
Mhm.
and then I can put some carrots or something in there. I've noticed actually putting a few sprinkles and things makes it fun. Some of the foods that I've been making with the kids, and so we've been doing that a bit more. I don't know, sprinkles in the summer, just like
Oh, yeah.
fun color, dash of color.
Yeah. Yes, yes, same here. Like, I'm more into, with it being summer and hotter outside, like more into like yogurt bowls, and throw some fruit, doing like a fruit salad. My daughter loves that, like just mixing up a bunch of fruit, make a salad out of it.
Hmm.
Things like that too. Things that I probably normally wouldn't eat in the winter. And that's part of being intuitive, like, okay, I'm feeling this, it feels good in my body. I'm gonna have this yogurt in the summer, as opposed to, for some people, they're eating ice cream in the winter too, but sometimes if that's not what you want in the winter and you rather wait till it warms up, that's fine too. That's also being intuitive.
Mhm, mhm. That's great. And Deanna, I know you also have a podcast. I mean, you obviously you were a guest on my podcast episode that we had already mentioned, but you have your own podcast too that you talk with us all about intuitive eating. And can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes. So the name of my podcast is called the Intuitive Wellness Cafe. And so not only do I talk about intuitive eating, I also talk about just pretty much intuitive living and intuitive wellness, just being very holistic about wellness. And I named it Intuitive Wellness Cafe because I wanted to create this like state of mind and this like kind of vibe where I'm sitting with you in a coffee shop discussing all these topics in a non-judgmental, like safe space.
Hmm.
And I go from a variety of topics. I do have an episode I did, I think it was like episode 7, about embracing the summer months, with intuitive eating. So I did recently do an episode on that topic on there. And so I go, I do a variety of topics, talking about community, talking about intuitive movement, moving your body that feels good to you. Of course, all the ins and outs of intuitive eating and emotional eating and all of that. So I do encompass a variety of topics related to wellness that doesn't talk about like dieting or calorie counting or excessive workouts. It's pretty much basically like just pursuing wellness without all of that diet culture messages.
That's
So
great. And I put the link here. You said that there's an episode about the summer months, and I think that's the
yes,
link here that I pulled up. I don't know if you're able to see on your
yes,
end.
I do see it. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one.
And then I was showing earlier, this is just the main link for your podcast. If I can pull it up, pressing show. There we go. Oh no, that's still the summer one, but it looks like you can still get to your podcast that way. And you're on Spotify. Is there anywhere else we can find you as well? Or Spotify, the main service.
Spotify and Apple, those are the
Okay,
two main. Yeah, yeah.
perfect.
Spotify and Apple are the two main places that you can find my podcast.
Great. And then I have here your website as well. And I know that you have a freebie. Is that right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do have a freebie. It's a free starter guide to make peace with your plate.
Okay.
And if you click on the link and drop in your email address, you will get free access to that. It's a really quick guide that you can get some like kind of quick results. It's very, very informative.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I was taking me a minute to pull it up, but there it is there. And I'll put it also in the show notes, all these links, so we can access that. And I love talking with you just because I mean, I feel like we're from all over the place. That we are like I've connected with so many people from around the world. It's just incredible. I love it. And I love learning
Nice.
about different areas. But I also love talking to local people and local to Chicago because
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and you get it
Great.
like it depends on where you are. There's
Mhm.
always like certain beautiful times of the year. And in
Yeah.
Chicago, this is it. This is
Oh,
like
yes, it is.
yes. And so living in that present moment right now is key. And I think that's why this live is so timely because it really is about just embracing the
Mhm.
picnics, embracing the ice cream, embracing the moment because it's so short and we have to just capture it while we can.
Yeah, 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 it's true. Like my daughter is at my grandma's, and her and my niece had ice cream one day for dinner, and my mom ate tacos, but they did not. They're like, no, we're full, we're good. And I'm like, that's fine. It's like I said, summer. They don't normally eat ice cream for dinner. If they're, I mean, kids especially are great at being intuitive eaters because they were born as intuitive eaters, and and at a up to a certain age, of course, I try to not talk about like diets and can't have sugar and all of that, but kids are truly intuitive. I mean, they're like, we're not hungry. I'm like, you really are not hungry? Like, no, no, I'm fine. I'm like, okay. Okay, and I know she doesn't eat ice cream every day for dinner, so I'm not going to
Yeah.
stress over it. It's not about being perfect. You definitely need to embrace the gray. Not have this all or nothing thinking and perfectionism and all of that. That goes out the window when it comes to embracing like intuitive eating. So
Yeah, exactly. That's great. I love that. And it brings me to I have been doing some gardening and I've been doing it for a few years now, trying to do trial and error. There's a lot of error, but like I feel like since I've been doing it for a few years, I'm kind of getting the hang of it a bit. And it actually allows me to do intuitive eating, but with like more fruits and vegetables,
sure.
especially this time of year. Like every day I can go out into the garden and we had strawberries
Oh,
was
yes.
it last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, but
Wow,
strawberries
that's
and
nice.
yeah, and we've had lettuce and I can make salads and
Yeah.
it's just so nice. And I feel like when I'm honoring those cues, like my body just kind of knows like what what I should be like putting in the salads, how it makes me feel. And
Yes.
when I listen to that, I'm not like eating all these extra things that kind of weigh me down, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. We just did that. We went to this really nice farmers market by my house, and we bought strawberries, lettuce. Came home, made a salad. The strawberries are excellent, and I'm not a big fan of eating strawberries when they're not in season. Which that it doesn't matter. I mean, if you only have access to strawberries in the winter, I mean, go ahead. But like at least for me, I'm like, okay, this is what I want. I'm craving now. Actually, these strawberries because we actually, we picked them out at the farmer's market. We took them home. We washed them up, made a salad with the lettuce that we bought. So, and it's a lot of fun, and vegetables and fruit for a while, for a long time, for people that are in very deep into that diet culture, just feel like I got to eat vegetables and fruit if I want to be healthy. And then what happens is when they stop dieting and they embrace intuitive eating, they're kind of like, because previously they may have been eating fruits and vegetables because they're trying to lose weight and to diet and shrink their bodies. But then when they get into the intuitive eating side, they're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to eat vegetables or fruits. I've been eating so many of them during my diet days. So then just having fun with the fruits and vegetables to get back into them again, like roasting them or, preparing them a different way. Like I used to eat boiled broccoli all the time. So of course I was like, oh, no way. I don't want to go back to that. But, roasting them, putting some spice in them. It's grill season. You can grill vegetables now and put a variety of spices. You can eat them that way. No one says you have to eat them boiled without any flavor. And I mean, even if you put cheese on them, it's okay. It doesn't negate the fact that you're eating vegetables. And then, of course, having fun with them and connecting with nature when it comes to these fruits and vegetables, because there's a lot that's in season now, and strawberry picking is fun. Gardening is great too. I envy that you have a garden. I grew up with a garden, so I know how it is to get that fresh fruits and vegetables right at your doorstep and having fun growing them.
Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, we don't have that big of a yard, but we have a certain area of the yard that I can put like some container gardens in.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, it's been a trial and error. I write about it sometimes of like how the zucchini and the cucumber leaves, they're just so huge. Sometimes they'll block out the tomato leaves, and I have to figure out how to raise up the
Oh, wow.
tomatoes and like all this trial and error stuff.
Yeah,
But
it's an art.
yeah, it's like just it's a fun process. And like you're saying, I think it does bring more fun into fruits and vegetables.
Mhm.
And like Brussels sprouts, for example, I just was told my whole life that Brussels sprouts are gross. And like
Yeah.
I think my parents grew up eating them not in whatever, not in as palatable way. I don't know how they
Mm,
did it, but they
sure.
just did not like them. And so I just was like, oh yeah, Brussels sprouts, I'm not going to eat them. And then I saw how it looked growing in my mother-in-law's garden, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna try and grow that because that is such a cool looking plant. And so I did, and it was so cool. Like it really is like the coolest plant, and it grows like despite the frost. And so I was
Um,
having so much fun just because, and they taste really good, like when you cook them in like a roasted.
right. Yeah, and that's important, like, the food actually tasting good. I mean, that's a big
Yes.
part of intuitive eating. Like, if it doesn't taste good, doesn't that that's really part of it, is, embracing, it needs to be tasteful, needs to be tasty.
That's very true. Yeah. And there's like so many options out there. And I love the farmer's market idea too, especially this
Right.
time of year, because yeah, maybe you don't necessarily want a certain vegetable, but there's some other ones. Or
Mhm.
I just learned what a fruit versus a vegetable is. So I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
fun. And like also like some of my lettuce, the way when I break it off, there's like this white substance that comes out. And I
Oh.
didn't know what that meant, but apparently like sometimes that happens with lettuce. It can make you sleepy. And I'm like, oh,
Oh,
that's
wow.
interesting. Like I'm learning these things that like
Yeah.
there's stuff all around us that anyway, I can go on and on about gardening, but I don't want to take it away from like what we were talking about earlier. But it was just I think it that
Yeah.
in my I guess that's my intuitive eating a little bit is like just
Yeah.
having fun with it and then
Yeah, that's what's important. Yeah, to have fun with the food that we're eating.
yes, absolutely. What other types of tips or anything else you'd like to share with our listeners about intuitive eating or wellness or embracing the summer?
Yeah, I mean, intuitive eating, it, also goes in hand to hand with the way we're moving our bodies. Now that with it being summer, we have so many ways that we can move. Now we can walk. Of course, walking is always an option. But, there's, like riding your bikes, is another way. Swimming, now it's swim season. Just choosing things that you actually enjoy doing when it comes to moving your body is crucial for helping you be consistent. But then it's okay to have those lazy summer days as well. Like we mentioned, summer is short. I just don't be, you don't have to be perfect about it. And sometimes we may even wake up later in the day than we usually do. So we may not eat quote unquote breakfast foods. It might, be well, fruit, like for instance, or whatever, So that's really it. Just embrace the, not only the food, but also everything else, like the way we move our bodies, the way we're connecting with everyone, making those connections, staying in touch with community. I think is really crucial. I think having a community, having a support system that really helps when it comes to embracing these things when it comes to intuitive eating and intuitive wellness um,
Mhm.
also. So,
That's a great point because, yeah, all of the just eating. I'm just thinking of like eating on my patio right now in the
yes.
summer with like friends and family. It's like, it's great. And that's what
Yeah.
fills my cup up. And it's just a great experience where, um, another shout out, Dr. Alan Cornmell talks about that a lot of like how there's this, food can bring about stories and
Yes.
have you can have a relationship with food, with family, and the food
Yeah.
environment where like I love her writing where she kind of talks about what she's learned through her family with that. And I think you really have those opportunities, especially in the summer when in the Chicago area in particular, it's
Yes.
cooler out in the evenings, and the
Right.
lightning bugs are starting to come out, or fireflies. If you're in the South, I know called fireflies, and I think a couple other names. But I just think that's just so
Yeah.
neat, just to embrace all of that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to bed later than usual, or if the kids are, just don't panic. I mean, it, it's not the end of the world, or and sometimes, like especially with this heat, sometimes you may be finding yourself napping during the day, and that's okay. I mean, it's kind of,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, just kind of like taking it in stride and like not giving yourself so much pressure also to have like a perfect summer. Like I know I have my little bucket list, but if you can't, meet all those things, it's fine. I think what's important is to just embrace the summer days as they are and just like kind of go with the flow is what's
mhm,
important. That's also when it comes to food, when it comes to moving your body, when it comes to even wearing even some of the clothes. Like don't not go to the beach just because you don't want to wear a bathing suit. Like if you don't feel comfortable wearing one, that's fine, but don't like deprive yourself of those kind of experiences just because you choose not to. You can always go with shorts or long sleeve shirt, and I mean,
mhm, mhm.
definitely, I would, definitely, if you don't feel comfortable wearing a bathing suit, I still would try to embrace the all the things that summer can give us. So
Yes, absolutely. And they have like some cute covers too. Like I
yeah,
found some on Amazon and stuff. Because sometimes I feel a little after kids. I was like,
yeah, yeah,
well, and then, but yeah, you don't want to deprive yourself from beautiful
right.
experiences because you're in your head about like, oh, how does this look, or how do I look, and all that
Yeah,
stuff. And I think those are all great points. And
mhm,
I just love being mindful in every season, but in particular, this is just such a great time to experience all of that.
yeah.
And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to ask you while we have a few more minutes, but I want to make sure we're cognizant of time too. Deanna, is there anything else you'd like to leave with our listeners, as well as let us know where we can find you? And again, repeat, like where your podcast is, as well as where we can get that freebie and get onto your email list. And I'll also post all of that into the show notes as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, like I said, you can find me. I have a website, deannakuzaroff.com, and my one-to-one offer is on that website. And there's a description of what it entails. Also, you can find me on Intuitive Wellness Cafe podcast, where you can listen to it on Spotify or Apple. I am about to wind down season 2. I've got 2 seasons up there, so I have many episodes that talk about this topic about intuitive eating, and just like the episode that I recently did about the summer months that you can tune into. Otherwise, I do episodes every other week, but I'm getting ready to wind down season 2. But I've got plenty of episodes that you can catch up on there. And I also have the free guide, the free starter guide, Make Peace with Your Plate. that you can also get access to, and I will send you the guide, and it has some quick tips to get started on how to embrace intuitive eating and food freedom, and just overall just intuitive wellness.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Deanna. And thank you for everyone
Mhm.
who's listening. This is a new streaming system I have here. So I'm not sure if I am getting the comments that are coming in. So if anyone has made any comments, I just want to say thank you for coming in, or check out the replay later on. And
Yeah.
oh, I see here Simply Real Motherhood says hi. So hi. Hi, Simply Real Motherhood, and to everyone else. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening or day, wherever you're listening from. And then also embracing the summer, and get out there and enjoy this beautiful time of the year.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope you enjoy this live.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.